Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be making a Southern classic shrimp and grits. This is a really easy recipe, all fresh ingredients, and hopefully after this video, you'll learn to love it as much as I did. To begin, you'll need celery, green pepper, red onion, white onion, shallots, and fresh garlic. You'll then need andouille sausage, shrimp, lemon, butter, and fresh parsley. For our seasonings, we'll need whole oregano, crushed red pepper, Old Bay seasoning, salt, and pepper. And finally, you'll need some low sodium chicken broth. So one of the best known kept secrets for making shrimp and grits is to have grits. For my recipe, I'm going to use yellow grits. You can use white or instant grits, whatever you have is perfectly fine. But I find that the yellow grits, they are more sturdier, they're heartier, and they have a better flavor. So in addition to your grits, you're going to need also half a cup of shredded cheese, any cheese of your choice is whatever you want, and also a few tablespoons of butter for your grits. So when making your grits for this recipe, you can make the grits the same way you always make your grits, no special tricks. But of course, make sure you add your salt, pepper, butter, milk is optional. And right before I serve my grits, I want to add my cheese. I want to do this towards the end because I want to still taste the cheesy flavor in my grits. Take your 12 to 14-inch skillet and make sure it's preheated to a medium-high heat. You want to then go ahead and toss in your Cajun andouille sausages. These sausages are going to give us a nice base and flavorful foundation for our shrimp and grits. These will take no more than 15 to 20 minutes to cook thoroughly. You do want to make sure while these are cooking, they are cooking in one even single layer, and give them a few quick tosses. Towards the end, you are going to notice a nice amount of oil that's going to release from the sausages. You're also going to notice a nice crust on the bottom of the pan. Don't worry, that oil and that crust is going to give us a nice hearty flavor for our shrimp and grits. My sausages have been cooking for about 15 to 20 minutes and they are done. So I'm going to go ahead and remove them from the pan because we are going to add them later. As you can see, the oil has been released from the sausages. And also at the bottom of the pan, we have a nice crust. That crust and that oil, again, is going to be the foundation and the base flavoring for our shrimp and grits. Once you have all the sausages removed from the pan, we're going to go ahead and toss in some butter. And this butter is going to help flavor our second part of our base for our shrimp and grits, which are the vegetables. We're going to toss in your onions, your peppers, your celery, and also your garlic. Now it's time to start seasoning. We're going to go ahead and add some salt, freshly ground black pepper, crushed red pepper flakes, some ground oregano, some good old Bay crab seasoning. Once you have all the seasonings added to your pan, go ahead and stir your vegetables a little bit. As you can see, that butter in the bottom of the pan is helping to release all those nice crunchy bits. Your vegetables at this point are going to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how firm you want them. I want them to have a nice little bite, so I think 10 to 15 minutes will be okay. Your pan is going to still be on medium high, so it's not going to cook too fast. And do not worry about the bottom of the pan. If it's still sticking, it's perfectly okay. We are going to add more liquid to help release those nice crunchy bits from the bottom of the pan. Once our vegetables are done cooking, we're going to go ahead and take our sausages and add them back into the pan. Once you add the sausages into the pan, you want to let this mixture cook for about another 5 minutes or so. Take your spoon, stirring while cooking, to make sure it's not sticking too much. You will still notice the bottom of the pan is going to have that nice crust. You also notice it's going to get a little bit darker. Do not worry, we are going to make sure we use that crust to our advantage. All right, so it's time for the main event. We're going to go ahead and toss in our shrimps to our sausage and vegetable mixture. Once you've tossed in all of your shrimp into the pan, you want to go ahead and give it a quick toss just to make sure everything, is cooking okay. We're going to now at this point add a few seasonings just to make sure our flavor is building up towards the end. We're going to add some salt, freshly ground black pepper, and just a bit more of our Old Bay Cajun seasoning. Go ahead and grab your spoon and give everything a nice big stir. You want to make sure your seasonings are fully incorporated on every ingredient we have in this pot right now. Take your chicken stock and toss it in with the shrimp and vegetable mixture. Add your nice big squeeze of fresh lemon. Again, grab your spoon, give everything a nice big toss. Once you have everything fully combined, you want to let this mixture sit and simmer for about 5 minutes. So this part is totally optional. I'm going to take a tablespoon of flour and I'm going to sprinkle it into my mixture. This is going to take our sauce from a thin sauce, you can say, to more so of a light gravy. It's not going to be too thick, but it's going to be thick enough where it kind of holds the texture to it, which is what I like. Again, this part is optional. You can not add flour. You can add more flour. Totally up to you. Just be sure to make sure that all of your flour is fully incorporated into the mix. If you do add flour, you want to watch out for those lumps of flour because you don't want to have a lump of flour in a spoonful of shrimp and grits. It's the worst taste ever. So just make sure everything is fully incorporated. Just keep continuing to stir. One thing you want to make sure before you finish this off is to make sure the flavor is there. You want to make sure that you are doing this right. So what you want to do is grab a little spoon and just dip into the sauce and give it a quick taste, just to make sure everything tastes okay to you. At this part, if it's not salty enough, you can add a little more salt. If it's too salty, what I would suggest is adding more water or more chicken stock to kind of thin that salt out. We're going to now put our lid on top of our skillet. We're going to let this simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes just to make sure all the flavors come together. After simmering for a little bit, we're going to go ahead and remove our pan. Give our mixture a quick stir just to make sure everything is fully incorporated. This is going to make your house smell awesome. You're going to smell the Cajun spices, the sausages, the peppers, the garlic, the onions, and of course the fresh shrimp, and also the lemon we added in towards the end. We're going to now toss in a little bit of parsley just to add the extra layer of freshness. Parsley is a really nice herb that if you want to make a dish look pretty or even just have that fresh factor, parsley is the way to go. All right, so now it's time to plate. We're going to take our nice big hearty bowl of grits. I'm going to grab your shrimp and vegetable mixture and just put it atop the grits. You want to make sure you put enough to where you have a good ratio. If you want to have 90% shrimp and 10% grits, perfectly fine. Do whatever you want. I prefer a nice, maybe not half and half, but kind of maybe 60-40. I want to be able to make sure I get either some sauce or something from the pot of shrimp with a bite of grits. I'm going to clean my bowl because you eat with your eyes first. You have to have a good presentation. And there you have it, my famous shrimp and grits. All right, guys, so there you have it, shrimp and grits with Brandon. As you can see, this recipe is really easy. It was fun, it's fresh, it's hearty, and it's comforting. My kind of meal. As always, I'll put the full recipe in the description below. Please like, subscribe, leave comments, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mom. I want to thank you all so much for watching Food Therapy with me, Brandon. Until next time.